Have you ever stopped to think that Brazilian culture is more or less like this? Don't do today what you can do tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, when in reality it is. You should have done it yesterday or maybe the day before yesterday. But where does this habit of procrastinating, of postponing things, of postponing commitments come from? You see, we're close to New Year's Eve. It's the big time to renew the same vows we made last year, right? Lose weight, go to the gym, find great love, make money, take care of your teeth, take care of your health, and so on. In other words, nothing that was promised at the turn of the previous year managed to be achieved during this year and possibly will remain for next year. Then you can say, oh, but this happened, that happened. Another means that you still have no control over the events of your life, rather than simply blaming others or blaming external circumstances, in other words. If you put yourself in the role of victim, realize that I didn't say they were victims. For me, there is no victim. The person only assumes this role temporarily, wanting to find justifications for something in which he has not achieved in a given period of time, rather than taking responsibility for his actions. Indeed, things happen, unforeseen things happen. Of course I do, but wouldn't it be far more prudent to simply take the blame for not having achieved your goals than to place the blame on the unforeseen, on things beyond your control? Nor would it be more prudent in taking responsibility to identify the flaws in your own decision-making process. What happened to prevent me from achieving this goal? Fix. So that when you sign the commitment again, this time you don't step out of line. I very much hope that your answer was yes, that you are a firm person who takes responsibility for your actions, is fully capable of identifying and correcting the course of your own life and your goals. But what happens is that most people don't realize that we are creatures of habit. We have the habit of doing and the habit of not doing. If you have a habit of not doing something, the only way to change it is to do it. If you have a habit of putting things off, of procrastinating, for example, do you need to take out the garbage from the kitchen, or do you need to take out the garbage from the bathroom? Oh, I'll take it later. Actually, it may seem innocent, but I'll take that one later. It just signals that you are not in the habit of doing things at the proper time, but always at a future time. Then, like I said, it seems innocent, but it becomes a habit. What about us humans? We do one thing the same way we do everything else in life. Therefore, if in simple innocent activity there is this procrastination, this postponement will naturally also exist in more complex activities. Think about it. You postpone one thing, then you postpone another thing, then you postpone another thing. When you realize it, time has passed and you have done nothing and accomplished nothing. Where does motivation come into this process? The word motivation, if you stop to think about it, derives from the combination of the words motivate and action. And what motivates the action? Any action is preceded by elements that aim to achieve a certain goal. This goal, the goal to be achieved, That is why action is taken. When a person is unmotivated, it means that he does not see reasons to act or to take an attitude at that moment. In addition to having lost the point of reference, right? As a person procrastinates a certain activity, he creates the habit of being. Thus, she creates the habit of always putting off until later what should have been completed. This habit eventually becomes an addiction and is later incorporated into the personality of the person, in which he begins to behave naturally. That way, without even realizing it. Tell me one thing. If it is, you will hire a company to do a service that you are in dire need. And the person in charge of the company is a person like this, with this profile, who procrastinates, who postpones the brand, does not always postpone. The responsibility she has to you. Will you do business with this person? Will you call this company again? What is the possibility that you, soon after the second absence of the person, you already cancel the service? People won't give you money for your work, for your service, for your business. If you have this destructive habit of procrastination in your life, then you mean this habit, which many people have, significantly hinders their incomes. If you are an entrepreneur and your employees have this habit, will it disrupt the progress of your business? If you are an employee and your boss is someone who has this habit, my friend, two things. The guy's company has 11 serious risk of closing because he has this destructive habit. Second, he will always leave until tomorrow the recognition for his work, which should have been given yesterday. In other words, I find it difficult for you to grow within this company in which the owner has habits of procrastination. Customers usually don't like that. The biggest problem with this behavior is that with every procrastination, with every postponement, the goal you want to achieve becomes further, further, further away, to the point of becoming unattainable. Hence, the person is totally discouraged from taking action. In other words, this Brazilian culture of leaving things for tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. It is a cultural cancer that must be fought, because there is no training of great speakers. There are not enough courses that can deal with a culture so strongly rooted in our society. The good news is that transformation comes from the inside out. You always have the option to be different, regardless of external circumstances. Each of us is a cell in society, and we have the option to be different. Being different does not mean that you will not be accepted by the environment in which you are inserted. Let me explain. The goal that I particularly have with regard to these videos that I post on my channel is to encourage you to awaken your own energy to the point that no matter where you go, no matter what environment you enter, you will let your light shine. People who wish to remain in the dark, they will have to work very hard to stay close to you, because the goal is to awaken your own energy. The more people with positive energy you have around you, the better for you. The same goes for me. The same goes for everyone else. Now imagine yourself being a catalyst of good energies, a person who leaves traces of light wherever you go. As says 11 priest whom I admire a lot, Father Leo, unfortunately now deceased, a sower of seeds from heaven. Wherever you go, you sow the seeds of heaven. And those seeds blossom, come to life, bring peace, prosperity, and love, and all the good that life can offer. However, unfortunately, there are also those people who sow the seeds of hell wherever they go. They bring disagreements, they bring sadness, they bring intrigues, hatred, misery, and everything that is no good. Speaking of which, and changing half of a parrot. You must have noticed that I like movies a lot. There are 2 movies in which I will make a link between them. Unimaginable, huh? For you to notice these links, I'm going to ask you, what can you say is similar between the films? Ghost on the Other Side of Life, a very old movie, and the movie Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban. Apparently one thing has nothing to do with the other, but let me explain. And a scene from Ghost in which the ghost is Sam. I really wanted the ability to move objects. He meets another crazy ghost on the subway who helps him in this process. And how does this crazy ghost teach him to move objects? Simple, he tells Sam, you have to use your emotion, channel all the emotion and blow it up at once. He will be able to move objects. Okay, very good in the movie. The Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter really needs to learn a spell to scare away the Dementors. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The patron's spell and how he can perform that magic using emotion. He needs to think of an extremely strong emotion for the magic to manifest. Okay? We have an extremely strong element called emotion in our lives. All right. Still in the Harry Potter movie, but going back to the last movie, Deathly Hallows Part 2, Harry Potter meets Dumbledore in a completely lit, clean train station. You must be reminded of this scene. Dumbledore says a phrase which particularly marked me very much. Words are, in my humble opinion, our inexhaustible source of magic, capable of causing great wounds and also of healing them. This means that everything we do and say first has an emotional charge, be it positive or negative. And through the use of the word, you have the power within your emotional field, positive or negative, to bring the seeds of heaven or the seeds of hell into other people's lives. It's your call. The most interesting thing is that in possession of this information you had at that time, in your life, it is also a matter of choice. You can choose to feed the thoughts that are born of your programming, including charge them with emotion, charge them with energy, and through this you will propagate your seed first among the people around you and then to the world. And what do you want from the bottom of your heart? What do you want to bring into the world? Rebuilding things or destruction? What do you prefer? Take an attitude of change in this moment and choose to be a more positive, happier person. Enchant other people with your word. Motivate yourself every day. Be clear about your goals and purposes or procrastinate. Put off leaving your dreams of happiness and prosperity ever further away. Consequently, complaining, bad-mouthing, becoming demotivated and depressed. People learn more from our examples than from what we say. There is no point in you using the word to convey positive information, and in practice, with your own example, doing the opposite of what you say incoherent, right? So take action immediately. Give your subconscious a scare. Take action now, your subconscious. He's used to making excuses for when you decide to do it tomorrow. He finds a way not to do it either tomorrow or never. When you take an action immediately to your subconscious mind, it doesn't give you time to formulate any excuses for not doing it. So he took a reality shock. When is when we are going to do. Now there is no time for his mind to react. Our unconscious mind even tries, it needs to plan, needs to program our mind. It tries to do this with us. But there's a saying that pasta is eaten hot. Now let's get to our exercises. Before that, go there in the success proposal, subscribe to our channel, obviously here on YouTube. If you like the video, leave your like, subscribe, and click to receive notifications. Do you share this information? The greater the number of people spreading the seeds of heaven, the greater the possibility of having a city, a state, a country of peace and prosperity. So let's get to the exercises. Today's exercise, you can even imagine, adopt the posture of the now. So you think, do you need to do this? Okay, I'll do it now. Do you need to wash my car? I'll do it now. You need to fix the shower? I'll do it now. I need to call a client, a friend, a relative? I'll do it now. Of course, you're not going to think that at 3 in the morning, are you? In fact, if you want to do this, I am not responsible for the sentences you will hear, but anyway, adopt the posture of the now. Another exercise, when you think of something that you perceive to be negative, and you can identify that negativity in a split second with your intuitive mind. Stop, think, notice the energies, and choose to think, feel, and act differently. Reverse the pole is. Is that easy to do? No, but you can do it. That's why environmental reprogramming courses, because it's not easy to do that in practice, at least not when you're full of what I call filth in your subconscious, are things that need to be worked on. But you can already, as far as possible, exercise this in your daily life, okay? For today, it's just my friend, a strong hug. May God bless us and success.